Are you a first-time home buyer, or you're renting and you're thinking about buying a house, but you really don't know how much it's going to cost you? Let's talk some numbers. How much does it really cost to buy a house? The first question I always get from people, first-time home buyers, is how much is my minimum down payment? I don't have a lot saved, or there's this misconception that you have to have 20% down, and people will start out with, I don't have a lot of money to put down. How much do I need? So let's talk about that. The first thing is we try to figure out your loan program that you're qualified for. So depending on the program, the minimum down payment changes. Maybe you are looking on the outskirts of town and you qualify for a USDA or rural housing loan, which is a 0% down program. You can finance 100% of the purchase price. Or maybe you are a veteran or a member of the some branch of our military and you qualify for a VA loan. That is also 0% down, 100% financed type of loan if you need it. Otherwise, there's conventional financing and FHA financing. Conventional we can do as little as 3% down. FHA is a minimum of 3.5% down. But in any case, we also have down payment assistance programs available that can fill in and provide those down payments or help with closing costs. So it all really starts with a phone conversation, figuring out the loan that you qualify for, how much you do have, if you do have some money set aside for a down payment, or if you do need some assistance, helping you find that and make sure that you qualify for that program. Now, the second piece is the closing costs. So there are closing costs involved in the transaction for the loan, our fees, the title fees, appraisal fees. We kind of collect money for just about everybody. So there's closing costs. And then there's a category that we call prepaids. And that's going to be the first year's homeowner's insurance premium on the home, for example, or the interest, because when you purchase a home, you always skip that first month's payment. So there's going to be some daily interest from the day you close until the end of the first month. Those are all considered prepaid items. So together we can figure out what your total closing costs and prepaids are going to be on average for the price range that you're looking at, and then figure out how much you do have for down payment in that. And if you don't have enough for all of your closing costs out of pocket, we can certainly communicate that with your real estate agent and make sure that in your offer they ask for seller paid closing costs. Or again, if we need to get down payment assistance involved to help with some of those costs, we can certainly do that. Now, when you make an offer on a house, there is what's called earnest money. It's kind of a good faith amount that you put down when you make that offer as a deposit, saying we are serious about buying this house, and so we're putting money down to prove it. Now, that amount really depends on the purchase price, and your real estate agent is going to advise you on that, but it's typically between $500 and can be up to $5,000 or so dollars, again, depending on the price range. And that amount that you put down is then used towards the amount at the end that you need for cash for closing. So that's an important conversation, again, to have with myself, but also your real estate agent to know how much you need upfront for that earnest money. The last thing is, say you get that offer accepted, now you want to have an inspection on the property. That inspection is separate from our appraisal. This is an inspection where they go through with like a fine-tooth comb and go through the whole house and see if there are any issues that you should be aware of ahead of time. That inspector needs to be paid, and those can average between roughly $375 to $450, and that is out of pocket up front. And then if something's wrong with the house where you don't want to buy it, obviously that's not non-refundable because the inspector already did their job. So that is an upfront cost to be aware of. So at the end of the day, when you're looking at purchasing home, do you need the 20% down? Absolutely not. If it's been a savings and you think that you need to have a certain amount saved to even start the conversation about buying a house, don't feel like you have to do that. Let's chat. Buying a house might not be as far out of reach as you may think. You can get in with very little down payment. I'm Jennifer Butcher with the Butcher team, and I look forward to talking to you soon.